Nobody has anything? I got some listings coming up. You got a new buyer?
Possibly.
Awesome. And we have a buyer agreement signed, right?
Gave it to them last night, went
Good.
over it. They said they signed one with the agent. They sent it to me. I read it. It expired one day after that one showing. So I said, next time we're going to show, we're going to have you fill this out and give it 30.
Good job. Something we really need to be focusing more on is making sure you have a buyer consultation with every buyer every time and having a buyer consultation. What are some of the ways you get, is that optional? A buyer, buyer agreement's optional. What do you need to take a buyer to a house? A signed buyer broker agreement. Whose rule is that? The MLS, the association. And what is the penalty if you don't have one?
Jail.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Wasn't that an SNL skit? Straight to jail. You go straight to jail. No, you are going to get a fine. Now, how would they know? There's no problem till there is a problem.
Right.
Right? So if your buyer buys a house, isn't happy that the water heater broke 2 days after closing, was there anything you could do about that? Who are they going to complain to? Probably everybody, right? Well, do you have a signed, before we start reviewing the ethics complaint, do you have your signed buyer broker agreement? Well, if it's somebody I knew, so good job having the conversation and eventually getting it. What's a way to get one where there really should be zero pushback on?
Before show you the house. Non-exclusive.
Non-exclusive, right? You could actually sign where I have a buyer broker agreement with you. However, you are allowed to also work with other brokers. I wouldn't start there, but that's an option.
That's where that's what they signed for this agent.
And this one signed something that was only good for a day. That's another way. Hey, it only counts for today. Any houses I show you today, I'm your buyer broker for.
But they didn't realize 2.5% on a buyer brokerage commission.
But that's okay. That doesn't.
Yeah.
That just means that if the other is offering, at least you have an option.
Good question. Why would you put 2.5% there?
Because why not try to get 2.5 from the seller?
What if you show somebody a house that's been listed for 4 months? There's a house, a friend of mine went there yesterday. They texted me from the house. Hey, I'm here with my son-in-law. We're looking at this house. I think we messed up. Well, if you want me, are you asking me a question or did you want me involved? We want you involved. They said, well, then you messed up. Where was I going with that? This house was listed for 177 days. If they wanted to make an offer on it, do you think the seller would be willing to pay 2.5%? Probably, right? It was a 550 house. There must be something wrong with it. So it's another $2,500. Probably going to be okay with that. Now you get another seller who says, we're not paying 2.5. What could you do?
Charge them the extra half
You could,
or change it.
but maybe you don't want it because you started out here. Oh, they were charging them 2.5. They didn't realize it. So you already sort of made a decision. Your services for them as a buyer's agent was going to be worth 2%. Fine. Could you reduce your fee from 2.5 to 2?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
You can't raise it.
Hey, you can't raise it. And that's the thing. That's why I would probably always put 2.5 and try to get it from the seller.
Well, it's interesting because can you raise it if you're doing?
If you sign a new
If
agreement.
you're doing one-day agreements, property-specific agreement.
The house is listed for 2 days. Probably not getting 2.5. You're probably not getting 2.5. So good job. Buyers, you can't sell a house if you don't have a buyer. I had a good week. I took that listing, that co-op listing, which sold, I didn't even want, sold pretty quick. I didn't want it until I found out it was a 500 some odd $1,000 co-op. And then it was like, hey, that actually sounds pretty good.
That's the Mason that just puts on giving.
That is the Mason that keeps on giving. So just so you know how I did that, I signed it at 3.5% listing, flat out, with the option to share. When the buyer brokers all called, because it's Queens, it's not like I had, and they wouldn't let me do an open house. What did I tell them the seller was offering? So what I make, it's gonna matter. I'm not gonna make less than that. So if you're getting a deal, where's it got to come out of? Buyer's agent. She was thrilled because Queens is like that. I should have got 3 3/4. I would have made 2 1/4 at least. I also have a transaction fee on there, but we'll get into that another time. Uh, anybody else?
The buyer's
I got a list.
consultation last Friday.
Did you? How'd it go?
4:30, good. She's gonna rent first. But then she turns 55, I guess it is, for the communities in November. That's what she really wants to.
I have a rental for you. Nice lady. I have a rental for you in Copeg, 36 Nicole. It's a 55 and over. What kind of money does she have?
Looking at 4,000.
This place won't know. Let's show it to it. He'll take that. It's a beautiful freaking place. It's unbelievable. Anybody got a chalk for the ID? Jared, you had something to say?
I have a listing coming up in Floral Park from my lacrosse board contact.
That's fear.
Yeah,
What day is it? House?
what do you say?
The house.
It's a split level house. It needs decent amount of work. So we're figuring out pricing right now.
Right.
But it's in the village at Floral Park, Alberta Schools. Nice little area.
Hot little town for.
I have the house pretty much by the end of the week was signed the lease. One in Amityville.
Oh, good. Good job.
Ken Marcus is wife in charge of the building department for the town, Floral Park.
Oh, the village. That's right. That's right. She's the head of the building department. Maria had said she did a buyer consultation, and the woman decided instead of buying, she's going to rent. Feels like a waste of a time on a Friday at 4:30. Maria probably had something better she could be doing at Friday at 5, right? Couple good happy hours around town. Why was that not a waste of time? She's ready to buy in a year or two. Look, she could also get carried away by a tornado. I don't want to say what first came to mind. A lot could happen between now and then. What did Maria not have to do with that buyer? Show her any houses. Hey, here's 5 I want to see. You call all 5. There's a story with 3 of them. Maybe you get into 2. They can't be at the same time because God forbid sellers actually, made their houses available for showings. So one of them would have been Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. Oh, I guess happy I was ending early tonight. The other one would have been Sunday at 4:30 before the Super Bowl. All right, well, I guess I could just order the chicken dip. And then after showing a few, what would this lady have realized? I think I probably have to rent for a year. I really want to end up in a 55 and over. I'm going to need a year before I can do that. So would that have been any good at all? No. So the hour potentially you might have been with this person, did it save you an hour of scheduling, 2 half-hour appointments, plus the commuting time? You might have saved 3 hours, and it still might turn into a rental. So good job. Just sold 1 Atlantic Avenue in Farmingdale is a condo. My father sold a repeat client, 450,000. I don't know if Sal and Gina are on the Zoom. Usually I can't see anybody. Right by the train station. It looks like it's attached to the train station. Just east.
I am here.
Right. Well, I had this conversation in Nashville with some brokers. We were talking about agents, and I mentioned Sal and Gina and how it really is a yin and yang, right? Gina's a little more outgoing. Sal's more, what is the rule? Let's get this done. Very maybe analytical.
Yes.
There's not another realtor in America who would have got this deal sold. This house closed. In fact, you guys don't know this. Connie called me while I was at the airport on Friday to tell me I should know Sal is actually a really good agent, and we're lucky to have him. I said, I do know that, and I'll pass that along. This one
Oh, wow. That's awesome. We didn't know that.
house is a dump
Yeah.
with leaking pipes. Sal cleaned it out. He did a whole bunch of work. I remember when he first took the listing, I said, I think you're not charging enough. He said, no, it's going to be easy. It's a friend of mine. I feel sorry for the woman. And I think he felt sorry for himself when it did close. Then it was like a bank foreclosure kind of thing, some liens. Then a long lost relative showed up and said, hey, I think I'm entitled to part of that house. And because everybody had the same name in the family, you didn't know who was right. And you had a pretty good feeling, but you weren't really sure. So congratulations, Sal and Gina. That one was, they gave him a few $1,000s to go away. Yeah. You always know the person's telling the truth when they're willing to take, I don't know, what was it, like 10 grand?
15.
15. When they come up with
Yeah.
a price really quickly, you know it's more of a story. Yeah, it's more of a shakedown. Meanwhile, the lady we dealt with, the client,
Yeah.
is living in a brother's house in Albany, suburb of Albany, with a teenage daughter whose father died in the house. The grandparents, they all live together. The guy who shook him down for the 15 grand is like a surgeon in North Carolina, like a millionaire.
Yep. Yep.
But just hated the brothers so much, and maybe Connie, that he wanted to make sure they didn't get all the money. Yeah, well,
It's talking on an old debt, that's all.
just getting even, just getting even. And Maria, great job renting the listing at 227 North Walnut in Massapequa, 3,500 a month. Good job.
So let me tell you,
Yes.
the woman rented that. Works as a teacher in Roosevelt. Her helper teacher is the sister of the buyer consultation.
Oh, nice.
So it was a referral like that. They were talking, at work, and she's like, why am I not telling my sister about your agent? Because you've been talking about it for 6 months. I've been helping her for 6 months.
Awesome.
So that's who it was. Good.
Did you send her a handwritten note card? Thank you for the referral.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
only it's Monday. It's happened Friday.
Maybe a bottle of wine or something too. Yep. Italian cookies always go over well for some reason. Not the sprinkle cookies. Nobody else probably gets that reference. Housewives, my wife's favorite line, Jersey Housewives.
Bakery, sprinkles.
I do know that actually. One Salem Gate in Hicksville. Jared got a listing. So this is like a Levitt Cape. The people got plans to turn their little cape into this house. And they looked around and they said, do we really want to invest all this money in this on this lot, this block? It's kind of a weird lot too. It's a big lot, but somebody called as a gate or road, and I was gonna edit it, and I'm like, it could be either, so forget it.
It's gate, but it's not in the gate.
Because it's actually on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a confusing address. So this is what you could build there. Probably an investor, or more likely a buyer who has been shut out of these new houses for 1.6, and they could get one in. No, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably worth 800. It is nice inside. It's
Yeah,
got
we have to do that.
it's got a couple violations, so you'd have to do a little work to close out the permit. So instead of the owner closing out those violations, they said, all right, let's just build this big monstrosity of a house, our dream house. They hired an expediter, the expediter got plans, filed the permit, and then they said, well, we don't really want to live in Hicksville, we want an acre of land and go out east.
You could actually start this construction the day you close. It's all ready to
And that
go.
actually came from the lacrosse world as well.
Wait, so you're gonna buy the house for 829 and
And then
then spend
start
another
building.
$1 million on the
You
construction?
probably spent 550 on it, and then you got maybe a house worth 1.5, 1.6.
It actually might work for a builder. It's close.
One builder offered 775 already.
They're knocking down houses at
One builder's door
775.
last night, and they asked additional questions. They seem to really like it. So who knows?
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy.
What was Rich's take on it?
Oh, I wouldn't even bring that.
He doesn't even know about this one. You really don't have anything then.
Give you 6.
And then,
That'd be generous.
oh, that's me. This is above Cara Cara. Actually, the barbershop next to Cara Cara. This is above it. That's the kitchen that's being installed in the next week or two. Interesting company. Wren, WREN. They're in Massapequa, and another one is in Levittown. This kitchen with the countertop, sink, no appliances, the cabinets is it was like $77,000, and they finance it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, look, it's what Julio would have charged for the same kitchen probably, but without the appliances. But I was surprised, and they do like 2% interest for, I don't know, not my problem, but Christine Koiser, congratulations. 1 Shawnee Lane in Comac, $699. Rich Ralph, 15 Dubois, $859. And 25 Seaman Neck Road, across the street from Maria, 1.275, a house of 2 lots. Where's that car from?
Car.
What?
What is
That car from, where's that?
It's a V,
So-
no?
that? Is a scary house.
It is the most awkward,
Layout, disgusting.
worst house I've ever seen. But I think
Shed inside.
no, but
It's really bad.
it's like a. If you told me it was like a chicken coop that got turned into a house in the 50s, I'd believe it.
Believe that.
Weird house. Make sure you're checking our WhatsApp. That's where we communicate. Weiger for life. You're crazy not to be doing some of this. You go show a house. Somebody comes to your open house. Hey, you know, you just got to kind of open the door. Hey, you know, I know my office is looking. Were you ever interested in seeing what's out there? Make the introduction. They come in. You get 10%. There are agents in Weichert, especially where this started in the Midwest, where they're earning on their revenue more than by a lot they get for real estate. So one of these agents is making something like 135% split because obviously they were on a much smaller split, but they get paid on deals they're not doing. Awards banquet. This is coming up quick, March 5th at Terrace on the Park. Really cool place. Really nice view looking out over City Field and the World's Fair over there. The more yellow, the better. Bright choice.
I still wore ties over a yellow tie. Sure. I'm just gonna
We
wear-
were yellow food.
Yeah, wear a yellow suit.
Yeah, I'll get a yellow tux like that other guy.
Savannah Bananas, like that guy
Yeah.
that has that yellow suit that he comes in.
She'll show up in yellow.
I am no longer the president, so there'll be no speaking obligation for me.
Really?
I
Oh boy.
gave it up on purpose.
Speaking that, Bob.
It's got Mark Lieberman.
Mark Lieberman from Connecticut.
Everyone nominated me and I withdrew from the nomination.
Did you guys hear from Loretta yet? Because she wants to.
She's
get a
on.
referral.
Yeah, that's
She
all.
needs a referral.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Social media ideas. Black History Month is this month. If you don't know, I think probably the only black-owned business on Main Street is the Caribbean Place. So get a $15. What's lunch cost? $20. Get a $20 gift card and raffle it off. I'm gonna do that. Make me do that later. They're hanging on.
Bye.
Which place?
Barnyard.
On a corner.
Yeah. They seem to do okay for brunch.
Yeah, brunch they do seem to be busy for, but I never see. It's also very small. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's tiny.
like
I want to buy it and turn it back into a Greek place.
I just only had like 3 or 4 tables.
the
Yeah.
neighborhood was
Show the pets some love. Expert Advice Day. Spread the love on Valentine's Day. That's coming up. If you didn't know that was coming up, make sure you know now. I don't know. Maybe. Bye, Brooklyn. Bye, Danielle. National Acts of Kindness Day. My favorite, National Pizza Day. Is that today?
Every day is National Pizza Day.
That was yesterday.
I don't know if anybody here has been reading about like the Jeff Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
It's all weird. I don't know what to make out of almost any of it because it kind of looks bad, but then you're like, I email people about pizza. And if my phone ever gets taken, someone's going to think, no, I just really like pizza. National Hearts Day, National Retro Day. Social media templates. There are new templates in the My Marketing Studio, really focusing on the yellow. You want to get more yellow out there and in there. We're going to bring some yellow into the office too. Really hurt our eyes. Market absorption rate, kind of the same old story. Farmingdale, 13 houses on the market, 8 on the contract gives you 1.6. Because it's only 8 houses went into contract, this can move very quickly, rapidly. Amityville's under 3 months supply of housing. So 3 months supply, does that feel like it's an easier market for a buyer? Probably not. That was the trick question. No, it's still kind of hard. It's easier than Farmingdale.
But if you're looking at this every single week, you see other parts to that. Amityville for a while did not have that kind of active listed.
Right.
So a lot of people listed in the last few weeks. So I mean, is that gonna happen in your town? Is that gonna happen in Farmingdale? So we need to prospect because people are gonna be putting their house on the market. Rates are gonna be dropping. Nobody really knows how much, but it's gonna create a spark. Maybe not, you know, a bonfire, but it's gonna create a spark and there's gonna be more business out there, but it's what you do now, which is, you know, the business you're gonna get, you know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months from now. So it's really important to go out there and prospect and do our
It
activity.
shows a big zip code. 54 houses on the market, 25 on the contract for a 2-month supply. 600,000. Oakdale, 6. Oakdale's a pretty big zip code, a little more space for a 1.5-month supply of housing. To Jared's point, I have spoken to more people getting ready to or thinking about selling. I'm going to put up later today, we'll have the photos, or probably tomorrow, a house over in East Farmingdale on Garfield, 93 Garfield. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, fully renovated 2 years ago. House, big yard with a finished basement that actually has a bedroom with an egress window. That's where the second bath is. I'm not going to call it a bedroom, but because it's got a bigger window than my bedroom, so you could definitely use it. And that'll be $699. This is a guy who's owned the house for 2 years, never moved in. He rented it for a little bit. He was going to rent it, and he's just like, I'm going to sell it now. There are people who are getting ready. Hey, let me just sell. It's time.
Oh, I'm done with this.
Maybe.
You think?
It could have been, you know, it's a compound effect, that could be part of it.
All of a sudden, a condo by, Copeg by the water, and then another place down anywhere south of Dominican Republic, wherever it's hot. I don't care. Hot and cheap. Starts sounding good. 2 doors presentations for the week. Some training. Build your business sources. That's going to be a lot of prospecting. Is going to be on the 18th, and then on the 25th, customizing your MyWeichert website. You got the Success Hub. You got Live Well. Zoom scam targeting realtors. So it's going across the country, where Zoom is targeting real estate agents trying to steal your data, your information. They send you a fake Zoom invite that will capture your face, your voice, your login credentials, and other sensitive info. Why do they want your login credentials? Because it's probably the same logins you use on other sites. They can make fake videos. They can fake your voice, right? So a lot of the financial institutions are using that biometrics, so your voice, your image, to do the verification when you call now. Like the AI checks it, so that's the way they could do it. Make sure you're looking, and this is really on anything. The email sender name doesn't match the name in the email, right? Hi, my name is Frank, and you look at it's coming from Sue. Doesn't add up. If it says specific devices, like you have to be on a Windows PC, or it's coming from a domain that isn't really Zoom. So never click on any unsolicited Zoom links. There's probably a lot of good reasons for that. Or meeting, send your own meeting invites. Office inventory, Gail Grace has some available, 3 there. Boxwood Drive available, Great Neck Road, still chugging along over there. Stratford Circle, I think we might have something on that coming up. All of a sudden, people are interested in it, which makes sense. Once you get out of December and January, probably the 2 worst months for rentals. Copeg, 16 Cape Road, Amityville Harbor, $5,000 a month. All done. Awesome. I was going to say this is a tough time of year to be on the water, but I guess not. Washington Avenue, TOM.
That Washington Avenue in Amityville, is that like in a bad area, or do you got a deal on it?
It's a bad house.
Really, well, my buyers only have very limited spending, so they need a tiny house and.
I think this is done at like 450, right?
Yeah.
All right. Bayside Co-op, I got to follow up. Hopefully the buyers have their appointment to sign. One Salem Gate available, and the rental on Main Street available. And then we have 93 Garfield, which is either for rent at $4,600 or for sale at $699.
That's in East Farmingdale, that's not the one off of Heisel Lane, is it?
No. It is East Farmingdale, Garfield, President Street, Lincoln, Garfield, the other
So
bunch of Monroe.
legal family? Residential rental.
Just the regular house.
That's where Abbeville is, okay.
On Lincoln?
No, right by there.
Really?
Yeah.
37th Street, New Hyde Park. Lorraine, that's still chugging along.
Still sitting.
Freeman Avenue, whole house available. You know who? Did you ever talk to Brucich, Amanda? Reach out because I know she had May 1st as her. Oh yeah, that's true. 16. Well, no, that's where they lived on Freeman when they sold one block off Freeman. That's why they want Farmingdale or Islip. Stratford. We have and then 16 Rolling Hills Drive, 4-bedroom, 1-bath. Dog's okay. Call it 4,400 with everything. 2 Gal Grace. I know they had people show up. Prospect and advertise an area of specialty. This chair is in the worst spot. Set up your squeeze page. Be the agent for that neighborhood. If you have something you're looking to specialize in, you need to have that squeeze page. Makes you the local expert, builds the credibility, and helps attract more leads.
Looking for an easy way to generate more leads and track what's actually working? Let me show you one of the most powerful tools inside MyWiker, the squeeze page. At its simplest, the squeeze page is a link to a list of properties, but inside MyWiker, it's much more powerful. It tracks how many people click your link and how many register, so you can clearly see how your marketing is performing. So let's jump in. You're going to want to start by going to my.wiker.com and log in. Then on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to click on Lead Engine and then go over to where it says IDX Squeeze Page, and then make sure your domain is selected and choose Start Building. When you get to this screen, if you're promoting multiple listings, and again, most of us are, the multi-property squeeze page is the way to go, and it's already clicked off. It lets you showcase several homes at once while automatically tracking visits and leads. Scrolling down, you're going to want to start with search criteria. In search criteria, you can use either city, county, or zip code. The other option is to use Draw on Map feature and to target your feature using the map. However, we definitely suggest using the location box. It's just much easier by typing in, for instance, a zip code and then clicking it off. Scrolling down, you're going to get to list type. In list type, you can select and filter by things like adult 55 and over communities, apartments, coming soon. I'm going to click off single family because that's the type of properties I'm looking to advertise. I'm going to skip style and go directly down to price range and put in the price range for these listings I'm trying to pull. And then lastly, I'm going to choose beds and baths. And I'm just going to select 2+ beds and 2+ baths. That's what I'm looking for as far as the properties I'm pulling. Scrolling up, you get what says page configuration. For page configuration, what you're entering here is where you'll be sharing your link that you create in a moment, like either Facebook or Instagram or Google, doing a Google ad. So I'm going to put in FB for Facebook. Hashtags is very important. Hashtags is where you're going to be able to track where these leads are coming from. So all you need to do is come up with a specific hashtag for your squeeze page. So I'm going to just put squeeze _ South Orange Colonial. So I'm going to abbreviate. And then you do not have to use the hashtag symbol. You just click on enter and it will populate here. Finally, for Facebook cover photo, use the drop down. You're going to want to choose high price listings from your agency. We found that works well because it really grabs attention and helps you build instant credibility using the using your Wiker properties. And then finally, property views. You're going to want to keep the default setting to 2 views. So visitors that come back to this link are prompted to register eventually. You don't want to give them continually give them free information and free stuff without them actually registering on your site. Last thing is you're going to click on this yellow generate link button and 2 links are going to populate. The direct link here contains the full link with all the criteria that you just set up. This type of link is really used for things like Google advertisements. The shorter link you can use, it's going to take you to the same results. It's a little bit shorter, and it's usable for mediums like social media, like Facebook, X. It's great for text messages, where you're very limited with the number of characters. But if you just copy and paste this, you'll see you can open up both of these in a new window, and you'll see the actual squeeze page that people will be sent to. Okay, so that's it. It's really, really simple, really, really easy. In just a few minutes, you create a professional squeeze page that you could share anywhere online and actually see who's engaging with it. So your assignment here is to create one squeeze page today and post it to your social media. Then you can watch the traffic, track the leads, and start using this real data to help guide your marketing. So that's really how you turn clicks into clients. Have a great day.
Anyone using this?
You should.
The story.
One of the things I like with the multi-property squeeze page is you look at the average price in Nassau County or Suffolk County, and you do a search based on a cheap price. So homes in Suffolk County for under 500,000.
People are gonna click.
A lot of people will. You'll have a better chance of conversion. What value do you have? I have a link to cheap houses. Another one is if you use the just listed criteria. It's just newer homes within the last, I believe, 14 or 15 days. And then you can put, brand new houses on the market because buyers,
They're out there looking, they've seen it all.
they know it's
Maybe,
on the market for a while, so they're more interested in just listed.
Yeah.
So don't just post a squeeze page on Facebook and hope for the best. Think of creative ways where if I was a buyer, what would I click on? Think of it that way.
Dennis Murphy up in Cape Cod has done really, really well with this by making Cape Cod homes priced under 400,000. It was a surprisingly low number, and you wouldn't expect there would be any. Now they're probably old junk, I don't know, but stuff came up, and he's getting leads from the city of Boston that he just set up this website. They're finding it. It must match really closely with what people are searching in Google. Cape Cod homes priced under, and it just lands on it, and now they're just coming in.
If you do one multi-property, Nassau County homes under 500,000. And let's just realistically say over the course of 30 days, you did that maybe once a week, you repost the same link because it lives forever, and you get 6 leads from it. And those 6 leads you call right away. You're having a good conversation with at least one of them. Hey, I understand you're looking at, you looked at this particular property. You clicked on my ad, homes in Nassau County for under 500,000. Let me ask you a question: are you looking to buy or invest? You're gonna have a nice conversation with somebody that you wouldn't have without posting that squeeze page.
So the big thing is make sure when you share it to social media, for example, Facebook, you do it with an engaging caption.
The next thing you're going to want to do is now promote your squeeze page. So you're going to want to go to your Facebook business page, scroll down to where it says what's on your mind.
Does anybody not
And
know
the
how to
first
do
thing
this?
you're going to want to do is open up a AI program, or you can also craft it yourself. You don't have to use AI, but if you use something like ChatGPT, you're going to want to create a little blurb about the squeeze page that you're going to be sharing. So I, fiddled a little bit with ChatGPT and came up with the following, which I'm going to paste in here. Looking for classic charm, South Orange is full of stunning historic colonials, from original hardwood floors to elegant moldings and timeless architecture. And then I have a nice call to action: get instant access to multiple listings all in one spot. Click below to, and then there's 3 lines here about what they're going to get if they click below. Once you paste in or write in your little blurb, you're going to go back to your squeeze page, and you're going to want to highlight it and copy it. Then go back to your Facebook business page and paste in that link at the very bottom. What happens is it will then populate your squeeze page link with a photo. You can then go back up and delete this little link. You don't need it anymore, because when people arrive to this post, they're going to click here and they're going to get directly to this page. Okay. So once you're finished, you're going to click next, and you're going to click post, and it's going to post directly to your Facebook business page right here. I also can go down here and like it as myself. I also can come down here and put in another call to action. Call me at 973-656-3341 for more information. And I can just post that. And now they have my cell phone number directly in the post as well. The other thing I wanted to show you is if you want to advertise this link somewhere else, let's say in a flyer or advertisement, up here you may have something called the QR code generator. I have it right here. It creates a link to a QR code whenever I click on it. So if I click this QR code generator, it will give me a QR code that I can copy and paste to my flyers. And I can advertise these at, let's say, my open houses. I can have a flyer with my squeeze page information. And when they go and use the QR code, they can actually register on my website and I can capture their information that way. So just a little bit more information on how to capture some leads directly by using this squeeze page. Hope that helps. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks.
And then what happens when you connect with somebody? What are we going to do, Lorraine? Call them. Got to call them. What do I do? That's fine. Hey, this is Joe from Weiger Realtors. Thanks for your interest in, Farmingdale houses priced under $650. There's a lot of special considerations, especially in this price point. Tell me about what it is you were trying to accomplish. Oh, that's great. I could definitely help you with that. Like I said, this, houses on the 650, it is a type of market where we do have to be really strategic. When can we get together and talk about it more? And what am I going to do in that buyer consultation when I get to meet with them? Buyer broker agreement. Am I going to do a one-day buyer broker agreement?
Maybe.
No. Listen, the amount of time and effort it's going to take for me to scout these properties priced under $650 in Farmingdale, and then when we get one, I gotta have an agreement where you're going to work with me on those types of properties. We could make it just for these types of properties, even. A note on specialties. You want to commit your expertise in the chosen specialty that you actually know something about. Would it make sense to say I specialize in houses on the North Fork? It would not. I don't know anything about it. I've been there a few times, but that's about it. Make sure you have a base of knowledge. It doesn't mean you actually have to be an expert. Do you have to be a neighborhood expert to put the sign that says neighborhood expert? Apparently not, because everybody does it. It's like some guy from Jackson Heights in Farmingdale, neighborhood expert. What school district is this? Oh, I don't know. So if you're going to do 55 and over communities, make sure you know how that works. Does everybody in the apartment have to be 55 or older? No. One person has to be 55 or older. Are kids allowed in a 55 and over community? Yes, absolutely. They're not going to be happy about it, but they're allowed legally. Know the layouts, the amenities, the turnover, things like that. If it's going to be about homes with pools, make sure you have a good pool contractor. Who's going to do the service for these people? Take that person out to coffee. Tell me everything about pools in the next hour. I need to know, I need to pretend I'm an expert in them. Maybe you're doing golf courses. We have more golf courses than people realize in Long Island. Horse farms is a real thing. There used to be a husband and wife couple out in like Farmingville, specialize in that. Again, whatever it is, make sure you know. What is the opportunity? What is our goal? An appointment a day. If you are using this, if you're using MyWeiger, you're using squeeze pages to generate leads, does that become easier to get an appointment every day? Absolutely. Tomorrow, 5:30 here, wine and cheese mixer. Make sure you come in, looking to have a good time.
Lorraine wanted to confirm the vodka.
We could have some vodka too. We talked about this a little bit already. Needs, haves, wants.
Hey, who thinks they would benefit for a little more accountability?
Everybody.
Would be interested in maybe getting together.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about that in the next week or two, on what that looks like. Right?
Build some momentum. All right, everyone, have a good week. Reach out to Jared or I if you need us.
I got hit by and then I